So today we'll start with the last part of the unit or last part of the transportation engineering, into that is railways, harbors, tunnels and the docks. So in this, the navigation facilities is the last unit. Okay, so navigation aids or the guiding facilities. So these are called as navigation aids or the guiding facilities. So this is the downloaded PPT from the internet, as the PPT is having almost all the topics which are need to be covered, and they explaining this only. So here the term aid to the navigation means any object or the device or external to a vessel that is intended to assist a navigator in fixing his position or determining a safe course past hazards to the navigation. As you see, as generally the marine system is very difficult to predict. The tides, the waves may increase at any time, so we'll be not knowing, right? And there should be some fixed structures which will determine the safe position. So the navigators should know where these structures are located easily. So these aids will help in determining the safe position nearby to the shores. So these navigation aids are very necessary, and even the navigator should know how these aids are being placed nearby the shore or nearby the harbors, okay, and where there is a locality of the different types of the ports and all. There we need all these navigation facilities. It includes both fixed and the floating objects such as lights, light ships, bios, day beacons, fog signals, plus electronic aids to the navigation such as radio beacons. Nowadays, as the technology has developed, okay, we have different types of variety of the radio beacons which are available, okay, and these are being installed in almost all the harbors to aid the navigation. Okay, so previously which were used are the lighthouses, light ships, bios were being used. Nowadays we can find the floating bios, okay, so where the light will be installed and this floating bio will be there on the seashores, or to guide the facility, or to guide the ship or the vessels, right? And even we have the bell type of the bios and all, okay. And there are, these also serve to warn of a hidden dangers and assist in making landfall when approaching from the high seas. They also provide a continuous chain of the charted marks showing improved channels and assisting in the coastal piloting. So these aids will also help to identify the hidden dangers. Okay, in few cases where the shore is shallow or where the harbor is shallow, these beacons will be placed so that vessel should not go that side. If it moves that side, there may be rocky hills which are existing beneath the sea. Okay, the vessel may go and hit it. Okay, and there may be damage caused to the vessel or the ship. So these act as a caution for the hidden dangers. And they also provide a continuous sign of a charted mark showing improved channels and assisting in the local coastal piloting. Okay, so these in case of the beaconlets which are being installed in the airports and all, so these are also bios are being kept on both the sides to make a channel and to give a pathway for the vessels. Okay. So importance of the navigation aids. So it enhances the safety, as I told, okay, and can also act as a good safety barriers, then help to improve the safety at the seas, finding and safely navigating a narrow channel in a wide expanse of the water. Also help marines in determining their position with respect to the land or any navigation hazard or hidden dangers, right? So if the navigation system was very good in case of the Titanic period in 1900 and all, the accident could not have happened, or we could not have watched the movie Titanic also. Okay. So types of the navigation aids, depending upon the structure, there are two types of the navigation aids. So fixed structures and the floating structures. So fixed structures are, for example, lighthouses. In Karnataka also we have lighthouses near NITK Surathkal in front of the college. Nearby the beach we have that lighthouse, and nearby one more lighthouse is there inside, that is called as Kapu lighthouse. Okay, so there are two lighthouses which are the major structures which are existing in Karnataka, and they are like very they are because these were constructed before independence. Okay, depending upon the service and the visibility, there are again four types of the navigation structures: coast approach light station, obstruction light station, approach channel lighting, and harbor light signal. So coast approach light station, okay, so this gives us the locality of the port. Okay, obstruction light station. So as I told, in case of any of the islands which are located nearby the harbors and all, okay, to give the perfect navigation channel for the vessels, a few lighthouses can also be installed on these islands, so that there is a danger and these vessels should not go that side. So that is obstruction light station. Approach channel lighting. So for the harbor or a port, there will be an approach channel towards the entrance of the port or the harbor. So through the channel, few lighting systems will be provided, and these are called as approach channel lighting. And last one is the harbor light signal. So the location of the harbor can also be determined by the light signal, and this is the harbor light signal. Fixed navigation structures. So navigation lights of the piers. So for this navigation purpose, at the port or the harbor, locate the light system at the pier. So you can see the structures here, and at the top of the structure you can see these beacon lights. Here red lights are there. So these piers are also the protection structures from the tides and the waves. Okay, and this is an entrance of the harbor. So piers are the protecting structures, and these provide the entrance to the harbors or the docks and all. So the light system is being provided to enhance the visibility and to give the proper channel towards the entrance. Okay, beacon lights. A light is an intentionally conspicuous device designed to attract attention to a specific location. Right? If you want the light during night time and all, okay, and outside in the veranda or in the balcony and all, many insects will be attracted towards the light, right? So in the same way, wherever the light is being put up, okay, so we decide that there is something over there, okay, so in that light we can see everything, right? So it is a sign of a safety. Okay, so it is an intentionally conspicuous. So intentionally lighting is been put up so that something is existing over there. Beacons can also be combined with the semaforic or other indicators and to provide important information such as the navigation of the ships. So beacon help guide navigators to their destinators. For example of a beacon light, okay, police will be having a beacon light on their vehicles, okay, red lamps on the police vehicles, okay, so they will be flashing in a particular interval of a time. So these are the beacons. So the types of the navigation beacons are the radar reflectors, radio beacons, and sonic and the visual signals. So these three types are the newest types of the signals. Okay, so radar, by using a radar and the radio waves and ultrasonic waves and all, they will detect these reflectors. So these will be placed on the shores. Okay, so these radar, radio, and the sonic and the visual lights. and based on the reflection they will decide the position of it and how far the vessel is there from the radio beacon or the radar beacons. Okay. So radar reflectors. So radar reflector is an object detection system radio object detection system that uses the radio waves to determine the range, angle or velocity of the objects. Okay, with what speed it is been moving can also be got by these radar reflectors. So radar beacon at the range of the Mumbai port. So this is one example, and that is the radar beacon. Okay, so to keep the surveillance in the sea also, these radar beacons are very useful. Okay, so none of the foreign ships without a permission they can't enter our seashores. Okay, so these radar beacons are very helpful in case of the surveillance. And radio beacons. So radio beacon is a transmitter at a known location on specified frequency. So radio beacon on the land, okay, and this is radio beacon on the surface of the sea. So like that, nearby the sea there will be many structures which indicate. Okay, so navigator should be able to specify which type of structure it is and what is being installed on it. Okay, so only can the visual signals. Visual beacon range from small and single pipe structure to large lighthouse or the light station can be located on land or the water. So there are also used of lights in the navigation of the ships and the harbor, like fixed light, occultating light or oscillating light, then flashing light and the colored lights. So lighthouse, I'll show you first the picture itself. Okay, so this is one of the lighthouse in Portugal and that is one of the lighthouse in Goa. So you can see here a lighthouse is a tall structure. Okay, and painting on this lighthouse is also completely different. One strip is of white and another strip is of red. So this can be easily visible, right? So here whole structure is of a white, so it can also be easily visible. So this is the top lighthouse structure. This is called as cupola. This part, this dome part with the chipped sloped roof, and here there is a location of the light. Okay, and this structure based on its requirement, okay, based on the requirement, the height of the structure will be decided. Okay, if you are constructing the lighthouse on a small hill of a rock, then the lighthouse height will be little bit decreased. If you are constructing on the flat land, then the height of the lighthouse will be little bit larger. Okay, here there are many floors until the top of the lighthouse. Okay, the below floors will be used for the storage of the extra lights, right? Then storage of the food for the people who are looking after, and you have even staff quarters for the people who are looking after the lighthouse. There is maintenance of the lighthouse should be done. Okay, so this is a glass structure. All throughout the 360-degree there is a glass structure. They should keep on cleaning the glasses, right, for the perfect transmission of the light. Okay, then there is a smoke released after the burning of 1,000 lumen lights inside the lighthouses. Okay, so the exhaust of these gases should also be done regularly. Okay, otherwise the accumulation may also cause breathing problem for the staff who are working inside, right? And there are few safety features which are being given at the top of the lighthouse. Okay, so if you go to NITK Surathkal or near Udupi, there are 2 lighthouses which are there. You can go and visit them. Okay, and I have visited one in the last year, both in the last year. That is Kapu and Surathkal lighthouses. So I will show you those also. So this is Surathkal Lighthouse. Okay. So here this structure is been constructed on the small hill. Okay, as you can see, and it is a square structure. Okay, and the coloring of the lighthouse is red and white. Okay, and on the top of it a light beacon light is been installed, and there is a safety structure. Okay, and the glass which is been installed as a safety structure, it will be like very hard. Okay, even the fast storms or lightning cannot hit it and damage the glass and all. Okay, and you can see a red colored light which is been installed over there. And this one is the Kapu Lighthouse. Okay, so you can see a small town near Udupi. So it is also installed on the rocky hill. Okay. Here the coloring of the lighthouse is black and white, and on the top you can see the lighthouse structure, and that the light used is of 1,000 lumen. So here in our houses and all, we use 7 lumen, 9 lumen, right? So that is the power of the light. So there in the case of the lighting signals, we use 1,000 lumen lights. Okay, this is one more clear picture of the uh, Surathkal Lighthouse and the beach nearby, and you can see even the staff quarters. Okay, and there is one more tower installed, that is the radio radars, the radio reflector. So even if the lighthouses do vary greatly due to their usage and the location, they also have the similar components wherever they may be. So wherever the lighthouses are being installed, okay, based on the size and the requirement, okay, they may be having different shapes and the height, but there are few regular components which are there in the lighthouse. So each structure has a light station that is composed of a tower and its underlying buildings like fuel house, living quarters of the keeper, and fog signaling building, and the boat house. So these all are the permanent structures which will be there nearby the lighthouse. So the fuel supply. So previously, so the fuel was in the form of the diesel and the petrol, but nowadays we have electricity supply for this beacon lights, and there is a powerhouse nearby the lighthouse. The lantern room is where the lamp and the lens are located. It is usually a glass in quarter located at the top of the tower structure where the light is operated by the keeper. The glasses are storm proof, and there is also a ventilator for releasing the smoke and heat buildup, as I mentioned earlier. The grounding system and the lighting rod are connected to the cupola to provide the safety against the lighting strikes. So just beneath the lantern room, in the service room or the watch room, there is where the keeper prepares the lantern and keeps his watch for the night. Fuel and other important supplies are also kept in the room. Okay. So these are few of the dimensions of the lighthouse. The height and the dimension of the lighthouse around the world vary greatly depending on their location and the usage. Okay. So here you can see spiral staircase inside the lighthouse. So this is a spiral staircase, and there are few windows have been provided for the ventilation. The foundation of the structure. Okay. And this is the top of the lighthouse. Okay, So this is an area where the light has been installed. Okay, and here we can see the light, the arrangement, and this is a cupola system. And this is entrance gate for the lighthouse, and this is the base of the lighthouse. Okay, so lighthouse can be from 80 feet to 200 feet depending upon the need of the particular space and soil bearing capacity. It varies from 50 to 300 feet. Okay, the base of the structure at the ground level should have a surface area of not less than 4 square meters or 43 square feet. So some facts of the lighthouse are being discussed here. So lighthouse are painted differently, as I said, to make them the identification of the lighthouse should be easy. For example, the lighthouse may be painted all white if its surrounding background is dark in color. The red and the white strips help the runner identify the lighthouse if it's up against a white background such as cliffs or the rocks. The height of the lighthouse takes into account the curvature of the earth. So, the higher light above the mean high water, the further away it can be seen at the sea. But the light should not be as high up to the local sailors will not see it. This is why you will be frequently get shorter lighthouses on top of the cliffs and taller lighthouses built near the water surfaces. So originally lighthouses were lit with open fires previously, okay, but only later processing through the candles, lanterns, and nowadays electric lights. So these days lighthouses are run by the machines and remote monitoring. The automatic sensors decide if there is an extra moisture in the air, and if so turn on the fog signals. Okay, and the radio signals are used to communicate with the ships. But when the technology was not so advanced, the lighthouse were run by the lighthouse keepers. Today also in Naitika Surutkal lighthouse and the Kapu lighthouse, they have the lighthouse keepers. Okay, so next we'll go for the floating navigation aids. So in that, first one is the light ship and second one is the pios. Okay, so these are the floating light ships, small ships on which the small tower is been installed, and on that a light will be installed. So light ship is a ship which is act as a lighthouse. These are used in the waters that are to the deep or unsuitable for the lighthouse. Where the construction of the lighthouse is not possible nearby the shore, they use these ship lighthouses. So first light ship was posted in 1820 in United States in Elizabeth River. So afterwards, for a time, light ships proliferated, but their number has steadily decreased. So light ships mark the entrance to the harbor or estuaries and dangerous shallows lying in much frequented waters. And maintenance cost is very high for the light ships when compared to the lighthouse. So for light ship, you have to provide the maintenance keepers inside it, and you need fuel to run it, right? And it will be floating nearby, and if the heavy tides come on and the protection of the structures become difficult, right? So these are few disadvantages of like a floating lighthouse. But in case of the steady lighthouse nearby the shore, it is very easy to maintain and all. Identification of the light navigator must be familiar with the lights and their characteristics printed on the chart to identify each light correctly. So when the navigator starts sailing, okay, so he'll be having a set of the information where he can identify the different types of the lights which are been existing nearby the shores. Okay, so each light is assigned with the characteristic of a color and off on periods for easy identification. Vessel will be misled when the navigator failed to identify the lights correctly. Okay, so the color of the light and flashing characteristics in a full cycle should be carefully noted by the navigator. Okay, so next part is mooring. So mooring means holding the vessel in the position. Okay, holding the vessel in the proper position was an important aspect of light vessel engineering. Okay, early light ships used fluke anchors, which are still in use on many contemporary vessels, and these were not very satisfactory since a light ship has remained stationary in very rough seas, which are the vessels can avoid and which other vessels can avoid, and these anchors are prone to dragging. Okay, so mooring is like an rope, okay, which will be tied to the nearby anchor to hold the vessel in the position. So next one is bios. So these bios are the floating structure moved to the bottom of the sea, used to make the channels, fairways, shoals, rocks, wrecks, and other dangers to the navigation. So wherever there are dangers to the navigation, these bios are been fixed, and these been anchored directly to the deep into the sea base. Okay, so bios are been floating objects heavily anchored to the bottom, and these are intended to convey the information to the navigator by their shape and the color, and by the characteristics of the visible or the audible or a combination of the two. So here you can see an yellow colored bio. Okay, so where there are few based on the types of the obstructions, the color of the bio also changes. Bio have the top marks that exhibit the light and may have also fitted with the radar reflectors and the audio signals. Here you can see and radar reflector and audio signal, and for the working of these you can see the solar panel, so which will supply energy for these. Okay, so bios are perhaps the largest category of the aids of the navigation and come in many shapes. So this is one more type of a bio. So this is called as can bio. Sorry, a bio with a flat top, flat top cylindrical shape above the water, marking the left side of the channel leading into the harbor. So here, this type of the can bio, it is particularly red in color, and here light is been installed. Okay, so these are can be seen in the British waters, but green occasionally, and in the US waters. And in different like regions, the color of this can bio also changes. So these are the spar bios. So upright the wooden poles or the tubes of the steel, which are often used to mark the obstruction. If there is a rock, okay, so on that rock they have installed the spar bio, okay, which has been anchored on that obstruction itself. So nearby the deep vessel or a large vessel should not move. These are the non-bios. A bio marks the left side of the channel leaving the harbor. It will be red and have even number on it. So you can see 28, which is been marked on this non-bio. So this will be on the left side of the channel leaving the harbor. So exit nearby the exit of the harbor, you can see this. So this is lighted bio. This is one of the special type. This is bell bio. So you can see the bell over here. So large bell will be installed into it as the tides are more nearby the shore or nearby this bell bio. The bell rings. So it have the flat top submerged by the framework supporting a bell. In the motion of the sea sounds the older bell bios, and newer types are automatically by the gas compressed or the electricity. So this is one of the chart symbol of the bio. So in this chart you can see there are different bios which are being installed nearby, and these bios indicate a movement, indicate a channel. Okay, so these are nearby the ports which direct the direction towards the entrance or exit of the harbors. Okay, so the lateral marks are generally for well-defined channels, and these are two international bios regions A and B, where these are the lateral marks differ. So here few of the marks are been changing, right? Here in this case these are been darkened, and here these are light colored. Okay, so in different regions the different positioning and the symbols are little bit changed, so you can, so that you can identify. So based on the region you have to have a chart as a navigator. So navigation aids at the coastal line of the Gujarat. So at that Navadra, and we can see a lighthouse which has been installed, and it was established in 1986. 3 white flashes, okay, 15 seconds and 35 minutes, 35 meters. It is 115 meter height totally. So it is a round cylindrical concrete tower with a lantern and a gallery painted with a horizontal red and white bands. Okay, usually this will be a masonry structure of a stone masonry structure or the concrete structure. So what I have seen, those were the masonry structures, but here this is a concrete structure which was constructed recently after independence in 1986. So this lighthouse was built to provide the first light for the long stretch of the coastal line between Porbandar and Dwarka. Focal plane for this lighthouse is 55 meters. So this is one more near the Jamnagar. It was constructed in 1958. Its focal plane is 28 meters. Okay, and white flash every 20 seconds. And it is around 21 meter height, around masonry structure. Oh, so this is again a masonry cheap tower. Okay, and the lantern and the gallery painted with the horizontal black and the white bands. This is Bradeshwara Nakti Creek. This, okay, so the focal plane is around 77 meters. So the fall of the light, okay, so based on the focal plane only, the luminance of the light will be changing. So 3 white flashes every 20 seconds, and 60 meter round concrete tower with a lantern and double gallery. Okay, and entire lighthouse is white in this case. So double gallery. So here this first gallery and here is the second gallery. So usually we'll be having only one gallery at the top, but this lighthouse is having double gallery at the different heights. And this is Mandvi lighthouse. So it was established in 1889, and this was a round cylindrical. This is a round cylindrical tower with a lantern and gallery mounted on it. Okay, so gallery is mounted here directly. Okay, and the round tower of the 17th century fortress of the Mandvi, and the light with a focal plane of the 35 meters. So these are the light ships near Bhavnagar. So this is one of the picture of the Kandla port location. So you can see where the Kandla comes here near Gujarat. Okay, in Gujarat state you can see the place Kandla, and this is the port nearby the in Kandla. Okay, so the major port of the Kandla, situated about 90 kilometers from the mouth of the Gulf of the Kutch in the Kandla Creek at a latitude of 23 degree 1 minute north and longitude of 70 degree 13 minute east, in the lone major port on the Gujarat coastline along the west coast of the country. So this is the Gulf of the Kutch. From here it is 90 kilometers. Okay, so it is the largest port of India by volume of the cargo handled. So you can see the amount of the cargo which is being handled nearby the Kandla port. Thus India's busiest major port in the recent years, and gearing to add substantial cargo handling capacity with the private sector participation. Okay, so import of the oil, as the Reliance refineries are existing nearby Gujarat. okay, in the Kandla, right? So there are many products which are being imported, exported in the Kandla, such as granite, diamonds, okay, all those, many things, many things, many products. And navigation facilities at the Kandla port. Round the clock navigation will be there. Permissible draught at 12.6 meters. Ships with a 240 meters length means around 1/4 kilometer length of the ships can be allowed, and 65,000 DWT are recommended or can be accommodated presently. So safe, protected, and vast anchorage nearby the port. Okay, 22 lighted navigation bios with the solar lights are provided. So lighthouse as an aid for the night navigation. So thank you for hearing. Here we'll be completing the total unit of the tunnels and unit 4 also. Okay. So may I know if you have any doubts in any part of the railways and all. Okay. Please don't hesitate to call me, to ping me, and we'll be posting you the notes. Okay. And we'll be posting you notes on the website and even on the website of mine, personal website of mine, which has been provided by the college also. Okay. So refer to the 3 or 4 year question papers and study the portion for the exams. Okay. Thank you.